about to finalize the Abaza carbon diffuser install. This is working. I think we're gonna be able to use this. I knew I'm doing everything that I said I wasn't gonna do, but I'm so desperate to have this thing here. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. So we're about to finalize the Abaza carbon diffuser install. I didn't shoot an initial intro to this because wasn't sure how it's going to pan out. To be honest, I thought I was going to have to send it back, so I didn't record it. So I kind of just went straight into working to try to get this Abaza carbon diffuser on the car. So the footage you're going to see is everything that's already taken place. The diffuser is currently on the car right now, so stay tuned to how all that worked out. Some quick disclaimers. So obviously I don't recommend anybody do the things you're going to see me do in this video. I kind of just did this desperately because I wanted the diffuser to work. I wanted to keep it. I didn't want to send it back, didn't want a refund. So I don't recommend anybody do this, but you know, to each their own, right? So also, if you're going to reach out to Abaza Carbon, reach out to Abaza_carbon on Instagram. The direct page. Don't reach out to any of those Abaza_carbon like .usa. My transactions all went through BMC Extreme, so I'll leave a link down below to the diffuser on BMC's website. Obviously I recommend going through them so that you can pay through PayPal and it's a nice and safe transaction. Appreciate it if you guys like this video. Put a lot of work into this one. My back is still pretty sore on it. I do really appreciate everybody reaching out to me on this diffuser. Like I said before, you guys were the reason I even continued on with it. If it was just me and I didn't have, you know, the input from you guys, I probably would have just sent it back. But it did end up working out, and things I said I wasn't gonna do, guess what? I did it. And definitely stay tuned, because guess what? We got more carbon fiber on the way. We got more on the way. Anyways, I'll stop talking to you guys. If you got any comments or questions about the diffuser at all, be sure to leave them down below and I'll answer them. But I'll go ahead and cut to the video now. So here we go. There's 3 attachment points on the diffuser itself. So we got 3 here. So we got our rods here, and then these will be attached to the car. So then these will be on this end like this. So, and then I got a nice little skinny putty knife so that we can remove the mounting locations for the sensors, and then this will be the epoxy that we're using to mount the sensors to the new diffuser. So I had initially started this install with removing the stock diffuser from the bumper to try to avoid having to remove the entire bumper, but it turns out later I had to remove the entire bumper to install this carbon fiber diffuser. So just so you guys are aware, it is absolutely necessary to remove the entire bumper for this carbon fiber diffuser install, but it's still easier to remove this diffuser from the bumper. So it's still a good idea to do this process anyways. We'll go ahead and remove the stock diffuser first, and then the bumper completely. And here I'm just removing the harness clips to the sensor, so it's easy to get those from the underside with the flathead screwdriver. Not too bad. Alright, y'all, I'm desperate to get this thing working on the car. I'm desperate to keep it. I really don't want to get rid of it. If you're seeing this, that's because it worked. So it's level here on the table. Obviously I have it roped down on the edges, so this needs to be all level all the way across up to this other camera hole right here. So I have it strapped down or tied down with rope so that it is level at the moment. But what I'm doing is basically heating it up from the underside with a heat gun. So I got one of my shoes under here, and I'm just going through and moving the heat gun all underneath this on this side, and then on this side I'm kind of focusing the heat in this general area because this is the most like stiff part of it, not much flex. So hoping this will level out here. I mean, when I have it tied down, it's obviously straight, but that's because I have it tied down. So I'm gonna hit this a few more times with the heat gun, let it settle, and then hopefully we can keep this thing straight, man. I'm really trying to
to make this work. Obviously this isn't probably the, you know, the best thing to do or most ideal situation. And I've seen people say, you know, you can't heat this stuff up, but I see people say you can heat this stuff up. So I'm not heating the carbon fiber directly. Like I said, I'm heating the fiberglass on the underside here. So I'm gonna make a few more passes at this. It's warm on this side, so I'm gonna let it cool a bit and then hit it again. Real quick update, y'all. Good news so far. So when I started this project, I had an inch up on this side and an inch up on that side from flat surface to the diffuser. Now, after heating it up and leaving it tied down for a bit, I have maybe, this isn't even tied right now, and that one's all the way down. That's probably about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. So it is slowly flexing. So good news, good news. All right, y'all, check it out. You can hear my family in the background, sorry. But, so after doing the heat gun, and as you saw, I had it tied down. Look at that, about a 1/2 inch. I mean, if I push this down, it's about a 1/2 inch to 3/4. Yeah, about 3/4. This was a full inch. It was actually a little bit higher than an inch. And when I had it tied down, I was able to kind of push it down and keep it low. So it has made a difference. What I did is I put a microfiber towel underneath the center of this to give it a little bit of bow in the opposite direction, and then tied both ends down, and then, you know, slowly hit it with the heat gun from the underside while I kept the center of this wedged with the shoe. So so this is working. I think we're gonna be able to use this. I'm gonna do another probably 1 or 2 rounds with the heat gun, and then see if we can get a little bit flatter. So stay tuned. So real quick, let me just show you how I'm setting this up. So I wrapped a microfiber underneath the center so that there's some counter pressure, so that it kind of blows it the opposite direction. And then, you know, I got it tied down just with some rope here and here, so the corners are all touching, which is like the OEM one down there. And slowly but surely it is stretching. So I obviously don't recommend anybody do this. I am super desperate. I want to keep this product. I really don't want to send it back. So if I can make this work, I'm absolutely going to do it. So as you can see, it's still not 100% flat, but that is substantially better. It does flex when I strap it down, so I think I'll be able to make this work. Apparently everybody says that's been DMing me about the Abaza carbon and the chrome carbon. Everybody does, I guess, put screws through these tabs. We've already transferred over the side markers here. So I'm gonna go ahead and start getting a putty knife to the sensors. We got our second one here. Hot, it's hot. Make sure this one goes here. I got all our sensors out of our stock one. I'm about to start epoxying those in there, but I just wanted to show you I took out this plastic reinforcement that's in the bottom of the bumper here. It kind of just holds the sensors and the wiring in place. But I took that out so that when I go underneath it, it'll be easier for me to be able to get screws under there. All right, so we're just getting the sensors down right now. These two are drying. These two are getting close to being dry. So you can use whatever epoxy you want. I just went with this clear weld, JB Weld stuff. It's supposed to set in 5 minutes. So I'm actually gonna start drilling these tabs up. So it's what they say we can do, right? So I'm gonna use a 532 bit, 530 seconds. And then to pre-drill all my coals. And then these are the south tappers I'm gonna be using to push through there once we're all said and done. All right, quick update. Our sensors are set solid, and I went ahead, drilled all these tabs closely towards the centers, and you know, we'll see how it goes. I knew I'm doing everything that I said I wasn't gonna do, but I'm so desperate to have this thing. I tell you, it's like at this point I've made peace with the fact that if I ruin it, it's on me, you know. So Again, I don't know how this is gonna turn out, but we're gonna find out together. You see, they're mostly flush. I got it supported right here. I got it propped up on this side so it's not gonna fall. But man, look at that. It's gonna look dope when it's done, right? So much ass. So I'm gonna take my time with this. But since that backing's out, I can pretty much see where all our gaps are to get the tabs through. But obviously these aren't lining up perfectly, so I need to kind of manipulate them to get them through. And I went ahead and got our first clip in here. The issue is it's real tight and these kind of want to go downwards, not really up and in. So I'm finding that a small pick is nice to get in here and manipulate that tab to push it through. So as you see, we got our first one on this side. Went ahead and just got my second one in there. And so we got 2 tabs in now. It's just, you know, take your time with it, one at a time. I haven't put the screws in there just yet. I want to make it around this bend here and then we'll go ahead and put the screws in. All right, y'all, we went ahead and got this first segment up, and alignment's really good right here. But as you see, went ahead and put our self tappers through. Screws are all lining up pretty good. So if you go right after this line right here, they line up really well. Seems kicking my ass, but we're getting there. Check that out. I mean, you won't see any of this gapping once it's on the ground. It's at eye level right now, but it's looking good, man. This is all working out fine. So self tappers through. What I'm doing on this side is more or less just pushing with my arm on this side, grabbing the tab on this side, and then popping the screw through. The way that keeps a nice clean seam. And I'm putting longer self tappers on this side, or in the middle, shorter ones on the edges. But yeah, man, this shit's going together. It's kind of like it's not going together like very easily. I understand now why they said that, you know, would need more than one person, because it's kind of like you're fitting the bumper to the diffuser, you're not fitting the diffuser to the bumper. So it's just taking some manipulating, but more or less the bumper is doing all the flexing, and it's you know, it's doing all the work within the diffuser here. So once you start with one end, just work your way and, you know, push one tab through, and then, you know, gradually push the next one. After you do a screw, just move on one by one and you're gonna get there. This beast is on, and again, there's like a little gappage here in the corner, but that's because there was no tab in the far corners. So maybe this will settle a little better once it's on the car. But overall, I mean, you're gonna be up here, you're not really gonna see any of that. I just want to show you guys how we turned out. But yeah, I had to remove the wide body flares, and I'm gonna have to drill the extension piece in here, so there's still work for me to do. But here's our end result. So we got our self tappers through. Like I said, there's no corner tabs. Self tappers through all of them here. I pre-drilled them all and then put a self tapper through them, so there was no real pressure on the fiberglass. There's a couple of them that, you know, got a little banged up, but overall they held up pretty good. But it was difficult, I'm not gonna lie, and obviously I had my doubts about the way this was going to be installed, but I'm glad it's done. So I'm going to start the reassembly. Alright, so diffuser and bumper is all back on the car. Just gotta make everything you know, attach back up. I'm about to do the underside of our diffuser right now, because it's just hanging right now. Alright, so we're done in the car. Let me show you what we did here. So we went ahead and just put an L bracket right here in the center. That's actually taking up pretty much all the load. So it's really stable just with this L bracket here. I cut the extension piece off that went right here, and these are nylon washers or nylon nuts, so these ain't going anywhere. nuts and bolts on both sides. The ends I kind of did like the Mod FX did, which is these I don't even know what these are called, but they kind of loosen and tighten as you twist them. So I just pried open one of the ends, hooked in here, pried open this this hook, nuts and bolts on the inside here, and then same thing on this side. So I didn't over tighten everything, just, you know, snug, a little more than snug. But yeah, that's how it's looking. But for sure this L bracket I think is the best way to go, because it's perfect right there. We are completely done now with the diffuser. So I had to do some additional modifications to the Vicrez flares, especially the bottom pieces. I had to cut off bottom sections of it because on both sides, because they were hitting the new diffuser here. So I had to hit the Dremel and cut off the bottom piece of that. Went ahead and button this one up. Same thing. All right, y'all. So we are all done. The diffuser is all back. The car is all back together. Everything is fitting good. I mean, it's not 100% perfect, you know, but it's not OEM, right? So it's acceptable to me. Vicrez Widebody is fitting up fine. I found though that the Vicrez flares, the weight of this thing is kind of wanting to pull them down a bit, so I had to make some adjustments to get that sitting right. But carbon fiber looks good, real glossy. And I went ahead and put my stock trunk back on, since it turns out the Anderson Composites carbon fiber trunk's gonna take like probably another 2 to 3 weeks to get here, so I didn't want to be down that long with no car. So put the trunk back on. Drop me a comment below, let me know what you guys think of the new full Abaza carbon fiber diffuser. Let me know what you guys think. Honest opinions. I know this was a crazy ordeal. I got obviously pretty emotional during it because I was pretty upset, but it happens, right? That's life. But it's on now. Super happy with it, but let me know in the comments what you guys think. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this one. Definitely stay tuned for the next. Thanks for watching. Peace.